Most AI tools tell you what to do. Claude Code actually doesn't. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like on a real finance workflow. And look, I know that sounds like something you've heard before. Every AI tool lately gets described as a breakthrough. So I'm not going to tell you it's a breakthrough. I'm going to show you a setup, 2 real builds, and you can decide what it means for your workflow. By the way, if we haven't met, I'm Mike. I'm a senior finance leader, and over the last decade, I've helped automate more than 150,000 hours out of finance work. Here's what we're doing today. I'm going to start from zero. I'll walk you through setting up Claude Code, which takes about 5 minutes. Then we're going to do something simple. Take a messy financial data set, clean it, and then we're going to build an actual forecast app from scratch, using nothing but plain English. By the end of this, you'll either be ready to start using it, or you'll know clearly why it's not the right fit yet. And before we get started, make sure to click the link in the description and join my free weekly newsletter, Finance Automation Insider. All the prompts from this video will be in there, plus some other cool stuff. So click the link in the description to get started today. And with that, let's start building. Now, before we touch anything, I want to spend 2 minutes on what Claude Code actually is. Because if you go in thinking it's a better version of ChatGPT, you'll use it wrong and wonder why it didn't save you any time. Now, most AI tools are responders. You prompt them, they generate text or code, and then whatever happens next is your problem. You take that code, you paste it somewhere, you try to run it, it breaks, you go back, you prompt again. In this case, the AI gave you a recipe, but you're still cooking. Now, Claude Code operates completely different. It's an execution environment. You give it a task, it writes the code, it runs the code, it reads what comes back, and if something breaks, it catches the error, rewrites the relevant section, and it tries again. Now that loop runs entirely on its own. The technical term for this is Agentic AI. Now what it means in practice is the gap between here's code that should work and here's a working running output you can actually use is gone. And for finance pros, that's the gap that's always been a problem. You don't need someone to generate more ideas, you need things to actually run. Now with that said, let me show you the setup. So here we are in the Claude desktop app. Now, the first thing to know is that Claude Code is built into the Claude desktop app. There's no separate install. You go to claude.ai/download, you download the app, you install it like any other application. Done. Now, to use this, you will need a paid subscription because this is a powerful feature. You have to be on Pro, Max, Team, or Enterprise. What you see me using here is the Pro plan, which is $20 a month. If you're on the free plan, the code tab won't be available, and that's the only real barrier here. Now, once you have the app open and you're signed in, look at the tabs right up here on the top. You're going to see 3. First of all, we've got Chat, then we've got Cowork, then we've got Code. Now, Chat is your standard Claude. It's the same as the web version. Cowork is a background automation agent that I covered in a previous video. Code is what we're using today, and that's where we'll want to stay. Now, Claude Code is going to ask you to select a folder, and this is where everything is going to work, so it can't just go crazy on your computer. Everything it writes, everything it runs, everything it outputs, it all goes here. Think of this as the desk that Claude Code is sitting at. It can't go to anybody else's desk. It's going to stay at its desk. So inside my F9 Finance folder, you'll see I've got a Claude Code folder. That's where my Claude Code works. I've similarly got a Claude Cowork folder, which in the previous video I showed you, that's where my Cowork works. We're going to come into Claude Code, and this is where Claude is going to operate. We've got that folder selected, and it's not going to work anywhere outside of that folder. Now that's it. That's the entire setup. There's no configuration, there's no dependencies to install, there's no command line. That was the old way of running Claude Code. You might have seen people run it, and it was a lot more intimidating because you had to open up Terminal and just do a lot of somewhat scary looking things if you're not naturally a coder. But now it's right here in Claude Desktop next to the other features that you've probably already been using. Now, before we jump into the real builds, let me show you the feedback loop. I'm going to send this completely throwaway command to list the files in the folder and tell me what you see. This is just testing to make sure and also to show you that Claude Code can access this folder and it can process and understand what's in there. So we'll go ahead and send that away and we'll let Claude Code do its work. All right, it's running. So far, it's been running for 5 seconds. It's using a couple of tokens. Here's exactly what's in the folder. So we've got a mapping file, we've got a point of sale data broken, probably raw or malformed transaction data needs fixing, exactly. There's 2 temp files because I have those files open because I'm about to show them to you. And then we've got a Claude folder that configures this for the project. So it nailed it. This is exactly what's inside the folder. It's got access. We're ready to go. Now again, notice this executed something. This did code and it ran on your computer. And that's what makes Claude Code different from a chatbot. There's one more thing that's important to understand. When Claude Code is about to write or modify a file, it's going to show you a diff view. And that means a before and after comparison about what's going to change. In every case, you can approve or reject it before anything gets written. By default, nothing touches your files without your say-so, and that's the safety net. Keep it in mind when we get to the builds. So all right, with the setup done, let's build something. And by the way, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I post brand new videos like this every week, and I don't want you to miss a thing. For this first build, I want to do something immediately practical, something that shows real time savings on a task most finance pros do constantly. Now, I've got a couple of Excel files here. Let me show these to you. And they're kind of a complete mess. So I've got this massive, I think it's 100,000. Yeah, we got 150,000 rows of point of sale data for the F9 Finance coffee shop. There's all kinds of errors. There's error in the store location. The transaction quantity looks like it might have been accidentally increased. It's just kind of a mess. There's multiple different date and time fields. And there's some blank rows down here that I was seeing as I was scanning the file earlier. This is what happens when you pull data from systems that aren't always designed perfectly for financial analysis. And before I can do any analysis with this file, I have to clean it. I have to do some standardization. Typically that would be a 20 to 30 minute job manually, even if we spend some time setting this up with things like Power Query. And that's every time. It's no insight, just cleanup. If you're looking closely, you'll also notice something else really important missing. This is just quantities. There's not a single penny of sales revenue sitting in here. It's just the transactions. Also, you'll see that there's just a lot of product detail, probably more than we'd want a dashboard. There's a bunch of different things in here we need to clean up. That's where our second file comes in. We've got this mapping table here. It puts our categories into the way that our managers like to see them, puts our times of day into the different kind of meal and service periods. And it gives us our pricing table for each product ID. So you can see product ID here 3 is $14.75, and none of this information is in our point of sale. So that's what we need to do. All right, now here's the prompt I'm sending to Claude Code. And to show you just how powerful I found the software to be, I'm not going to give it the usual 5-step framework. I'm just going to give it a very basic instruction. I need you to build a process to clean the POS data in the file and merge it with the relevant mapping tables in the mapping table file to build a clean analysis-ready dataset. Those are the 2 files it found for us. They're in the folder. They're ready to go. I'm asking it to do 2 things. I'm asking it to do the cleaning, and I'm asking it to do the merging. All things we could, of course, do in a tool like Power Query, but what we're looking for is kind of some code, kind of a process that can run that can do all of this automatically without us having to touch it. So with our prompt in, let's go ahead and hit send and see how Claude Code handles this. All right, so one of the first things you'll notice is it's gone in and called skills. Now, if you're not familiar with Claude skills or Anthropic skills, go ahead and click the link that I'm putting right up here. This video is all about Claude skills. It's going to walk you through it step by step. For what you need to know for this video is that skills are just pre-packaged instructions that can help Claude tools do specific tasks faster, better, and more consistently. So Claude has gone through, it's reviewed the point of sale, it's gotten a clear picture, it's found a bunch of broken issues, some redundant columns, and it's found the mappings that it needs to join. It's built a clean script, and now it's saying down here, remember when I said you have to give it permission before it does a write? It's going to write Python code, that's all of this down here. It wants to do that to go through the things it needs to merge, and we're going to allow that. You can deny over here, we're going to allow it, but you get to control what's happening. Claude's just doing the heavy lifting for you. So a really cool thing you'll see Claude do, it's going to test it. So it did a test cleaning script. Now that it has that, it's got the structure working in the test. It's building out the full cleaning and output script that's going to do all this work for us. All right, and Claude has come back. Now, for reference, that took under 5 minutes from the initial prompt to the output. And that was this first time as it was building the code. But here's the thing, if you wanted to get that same data set and rerun this monthly or even weekly or even daily, that code is ready and all you have to do is run the code. The actual code executed for less than 30 seconds. The rest of it was the building time. So what did it find? The transaction sheet had inflated transaction quantities. They were 10x to 20x too high. There was a sheet that had correct quantities, prices, and revenue that was used as the clean base. We removed redundant columns, and then we merged in category, time of day, revenue, and expense, and it output this clean file, which should be sitting ready in our folder. So coming to our folder, you'll see there's this brand new report here, F9 Coffee Shop Clean. We're going to open this up, and we'll see the work that Claude did for us. And again, all of this code is here, and it can be run over and over again on similar data sets. And indeed, here it is. So here's our clean data. You'll see, remember, we had those really inflated transaction quantities. Those were all fixed. You'll remember before we didn't have any revenue, but now here's the unit price, all the revenue. Here's our time of day and our periods. Here's the different accounts these hit, so coffee sales and food sales from the general ledger. And here's the category map of how our managers like to see it. How cool is that? And that time savings really adds up. Aside from the fact it makes people dread pulling reports, it gets you to analysis and decisions faster. Now, I want to address the obvious question. What if the output isn't exactly what you wanted? Well, go back in, describe what needs to change, and Claude Code will revise. The chart labels are overlapping. Add a data label showing the variance percentage. You iterate it on the same way you'd work with a developer, except the turnaround time is 30 seconds instead of a day. That's build one. Now let's build something really cool. Okay, what we just did with that data set saves real time, but that was the warm-up. The next part is where it gets genuinely useful. We're going to build an entire app that didn't exist 10 minutes ago, and by the end of this section, you'll be able to run it from your desktop. Oh, and if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps me make sure I'm building content that you want to see and keep it coming every single week. For this build, I'm starting with a blank slate. There's nothing in the folder except the clean files from the last demo. We're building from scratch. The goal is a working forecast app, driver-based forecasting with the ability to tweak assumptions and layer on changes. This is something a finance team would actually use, not a one-time script, a tool, something you can run whenever you need it, hand it to a colleague, and build on over time. So we're back in Claude Code, and I'm going to be starting a new session. Now, something I didn't show you last time because we had some shorter prompts, there's this really cool button down here. You can press and hold this and prompt straight in by dictating, and that's what I'm going to do to show you how to add a little bit of additional context in here. I need you to take the clean data file in the folder and build a functioning forecast app. This forecast app should use driver-based forecasting to project out the next 6 months after the end of the data set you have. This application needs to have the ability for someone to adjust assumptions and make changes over time to the drivers dynamically and have everything in the application update. I want this application to be able to run right on the desktop, be really dynamic and really user-friendly. All right, there's our prompt ready to go. Now, this will take a little bit longer to run because we're asking for some real firepower, but let's send this off and let Claude Code go to town. All right, and Claude Code has come back with our application. So this is an example of what the live forecast app looks like. We'll go open it in a moment, but on the left side, you've got the chat window still. You can make changes, you can ask questions, and on the right side, we've got the application. Now let's go ahead and go to the file and open this up. So you see here we are inside our Claude Code folder. It decided to do this in HTML to make this really fast and easy to run. So we pop it open in Chrome, and here is our dashboard. It is an entire forecasting platform and dashboard application for the F9 Finance Coffee Shop. See here's our H1 actual revenue. Here's the H2 forecast revenue. Here's going to be the full year, and here's what's happening month by month as the business is growing. And then as we asked for, we can make changes to all the drivers. So let's come over here. What if we want our Astoria average ticket growth to be higher? You're going to watch the entire dashboard app update itself. What if we want Lower Manhattan to be lower? Well, there it goes down, and we're going to put Astoria up. We can do all of them at the same time. Let's say we want to open a couple of new stores. There goes our new locations skyrocketing up there. And how about category mix shifts? Now, what's really interesting, what if we just entirely stopped selling tea? What would happen? Look, there's that. What if we got rid of our branded goods, packaged chocolate? What if we really just focused in on kind of our core business of drinks? That's what the business looked like. And down here, a summary. Here's each month actualized and forecast. Here's the transaction projection, tickets, revenue, month over month change. It's really all here. And again, every single thing we're doing, we have all of our seasonality multipliers. This took December up. Let's actually take December down and say it's worse. And we're building out our entire forecast and everything changes. How cool is that? Now, this took about 10 minutes from the first prompt to a working feature complete app. A freelance developer building the same thing would charge a few hundred or a few $1,000s and deliver in a couple days. An IT request would go into a queue and come back 3 weeks later. Now let me summarize what happened in this video. Setup, 5 minutes. No terminal, no dependencies, just download, install, and click code. Build number 1, dataset cleanup and mapping in under 5 minutes versus 20 to 30 minutes manually every time. And it's reusable. Build number 2, a forecast app, about 10 minutes. A tool that didn't exist this morning is now runnable from my desktop. None of this required writing a single line of code. Now here's what I think is the actual shift. Finance professionals have always been capable of describing exactly what they need. That's literally the job. The gap has been translating that description into something functional without a developer. Claude Code closes that gap. Your ability to specify to know what you need and describe it precisely is the skill that makes this work. Now, if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to check out my video on Claude Cowork. I'll put the link right up here. This tool lets Claude do work right on your desktop, and you can even schedule processes to run automatically. It's an ultimate game changer. I'll catch you over there. Until then, this is Mike signing off from F9 Finance. Cheers.